Houston Real Estate Radio.
Welcome back to Houston Real Estate Radio. Today I've got Bill Batchelor in the studio. He is from Thermal Resolutions, and he's here to talk about some residential glass and mirror ways that you can change up your home a little bit, make them a little bit more energy efficient, and some things that you may not have even heard of that you can use in the home. So really some interesting information when we were talking before the show. So welcome to the show, Bill.
Hi.
So one of the things that we were talking about that was very interesting is one of the things that you always read about if you're going to sell your house is to go in and recaulk the bathrooms and kitchens. What do you think about that?
It's a good idea. I mean, that's one of the things the inspector is going to look for. They're going to look for the caulking around the bathrooms and stuff. They're going to look for the caulking outside and inside on the windows, around your doors. Fogged up glass if you've got insulated windows in your house, little BB holes and stuff that you might have been putting off. They're going to look for that. They're going to just, depending on the inspector, some of them can get pretty tough, and I mean, they'll nitpick it to death. So.
And you can just come in and recaulk everything.
Sure, you bet.
Yeah.
You betcha.
And you were saying that sometimes in the Texas heat, it just gets so hot that it makes it kind of crack if it's not a real good brand of caulk that was used.
Yep, you need to use a good caulking when you caulk anything. If it's inside, it's just depending on what you're caulking and what you're going to use. But a lot of builders, when they put them together, they use the cheapest stuff they can get, and it looks good at first, and then it just dries up and cracks from the sunshine is a killer on it. But the heat just expands and contracts everything, and if it doesn't move with the rest of the house, then it's going to dry out and it's going to pull away. It's going to have air leaks, water leaks.
So tell me a little bit about your company. You're based in Humble, but you kind of go all over Houston and take care of different bathroom remodels and all kinds of things.
Yep, shower doors, windows. Been known to do the pre-hung front doors, back doors, stuff like that, just whatever it takes.
Well, you have some very interesting different things that you offer. I like all of the weatherproofing things that you can add and insulating the windows and even the window shades. Let's talk a little bit about those different products.
Okay. As far as outside on your windows, you can put the solar screens on them. Come in several different colors, different styles, I guess you'd call it. Now they're going to block from 70 to 90% of the heat that's coming through your windows. So
that's pretty good.
That's really good. The other ways you can do it is to change your windows out if you've got the old single pane windows and go with the insulated glass or double pane windows. That can be kind of pricey, just depending on how many windows you have, how big they are, what configuration
they're custom
they are.
windows,
if they're
especially.
custom, yes. And really on replacement windows, everything's a custom window because they're custom built for that size opening. If you can put the solar screens on them for just a fraction of the cost as the replacement windows and accomplished almost the same thing, and that won't do a whole lot as far as the cold goes. But in Texas, cold's not a big deal. It's
right.
the heat.
It's the heat.
And we get plenty of it.
And the heat is what causes your energy efficiency. And your energy bills in the summer are so high because of the heat in Texas. And,
Absolutely.
I mean, some days I feel like my air conditioning never turns off.
Yep.
It's just so hot and it's so hard for it to keep up. But there is an issue with the solar screens that they kind of make the rooms a little bit darker.
A little bit darker, yes, they do
So-
do that. It's a trade-off for comfort, or turn another lamp on if you want a little bit more light and give your air conditioner a break.
Are they custom cut for each window,
Yes,
or do they
they're-
come in a standard size?
You build them for each window, and they're going to go on the outside. You can use clips on them or screw them right directly to the window itself. They can be taken off,
Okay.
if you want to do that in the wintertime. Just depending on what you want
So
to do.
if you screw them in, then you're not taking them off. They're pretty much permanent, but you can
Absolutely.
make them where they're
Yeah.
not a permanent fixture.
Sure, you bet.
And sometimes I know that some homeowners will get them just on the back of their house or just on the front of the house, wherever that most of the sun is coming in.
Yes, and a lot of people do that. You don't have to do the whole house. A lot of people don't like them because the ones that they really notice are they're the black mesh, and everybody looks and goes, it looks like a big hole in your house. You don't have to do that. They come in beige, they come in gray, they come in stucco color, and I've sold some here not too long ago that they really didn't want to do them because of they had the black ones on there. When I told them you don't have to do black, they ended up doing the whole house because the color wasn't a big issue.
Now, if you go with a lighter color, like a beige,
it doesn't matter what color you use as far as how much it's going to block out.
Okay.
It has nothing to do with it really. It's the weave of the material.
And how much are we talking about? How I know you said they're not very expensive, but what kind of cost are we talking about?
Oh boy, I know you're going to do that to me. If you went with like what's a standard window, a 3-foot by 5-foot window, you're probably looking around $65 a window, something like that.
Oh, that's a lot cheaper than changing out the whole window.
That's a whole lot cheaper.
That's a lot cheaper. And you do a lot of bathrooms, a lot of changing out and customizing bathrooms. You offer shower doors. You have different kinds of shower doors. Tell me about the differences.
Your different shower doors, you get some of them slide, like on your tubs, it's a sliding door. Either side of it's going to slide. A lot of remodels now, everybody's going with the fancy tile and stuff, and they want to go with the heavy glass. It's a lot thicker glass and frameless. It doesn't have a frame around it. It's just got hinges and things on it where it's a more modern look.
I think those are the most popular now, are the frameless glass shower doors.
Mm-hmm. They sure are. But we still do the single doors and, things like that.
And you even have some plexiglass products. And, it's funny because when I think about plexiglass, the only thing I can think of in my house that's plexiglass is the plexiglass that we cut and put over the fireplace so that the kids wouldn't get the little lava rocks, out of there when they were crawling around. So tell me about some of the uses for plexiglass in the home.
Oh, my gracious. It could be anything from, like you're talking about there, to cutting boards for the kitchen. I've done some for patio furniture. Storm comes up, the umbrella's up, it's going to blow the table over and break it. They've gone to that, and they got regular plexiglass and then a polycarbonate, which is, you can't hardly break the stuff.
So that is a good thing for outdoor tables.
I've even done some around the bottom of the banisters on stairs to keep kids from crawling between the bars and taking a dive off.
Well, that's a good thing. A lot of lofts have, the space between the steps. That's definitely a good thing for crawlers.
You betcha.
Those toddlers can cost you a lot of money trying to baby-proof your home. So mirrors, you do custom mirrors, and some mirrors, after you've lived in the home for a few years, they tend to get that black around the edges.
Around the edges. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and so you can. Do you have to replace the whole window, or can you fix that?
You can't fix it. It's kind of like rust on a car. Once you get it, it just keeps going. But what you can do, and a lot of people do, is add the 2-inch beveled strips. It's just a beveled mirror strip around the perimeter of the mirror, and it hides it all. You can get it in 2, 3, 4-inch, however wide you need it, and it dresses it up, gives it a whole different look, really.
Is that something that's cut custom and then glued on, or how?
It goes on with a double face tape.
Okay.
So it can be taken off if you needed to, but other than covering that up, the only way you could do anything with a mirror that's doing that is to pull it down and cut that part of the mirror off. But most people just opt for put the bevel strips on. It gives it a whole different look and
sure,
makes it a little bit nicer,
a little fancier,
yeah. A little fancier, yeah.
And you can, if you have special things like I know in one of my bathrooms there's an outlet in the mirror, and so if we want to replace the mirror, I've always wondered, how are we going to get this replaced? You can cut those out, though.
Sure, absolutely. Yeah, okay. You just measure them where you need them, cut them, and they've got all kind of different. You can do doubles, triples, the square looking plugs. I forget what you call them. GFIs.
Yeah, because those are in all the wet areas now. And you do storm doors and screen doors. What's the difference between a storm door and a screen door?
Storm door is going to be made, they're both made out of aluminum. Storm door you can operate. It's got an operable panel in it that'll slide up and down with a screen in it where you can get air through it, and just a screen door is basically that. It's an aluminum door with full screen on it. So
you're not going to keep your air conditioning in with a screen door.
No,
it's more for the little bit of fall and spring that we have in Houston.
And some of them are just full view glass, just if you've got a really nice front door that you don't want the weather beating on it, so you have to have it refinished every time you turn around, then they'll put just a full view storm door over it, and you can still see the your nice wood door behind it.
Yeah, we just had our front door refinished because after the sun beat on it for a few years, it just looked horrible. So does having the storm door in front of it, does that help?
Yes, and you can get the low E glass put in it, which is going to cut down on some of the UVs that are coming through, and that's what's killing your finish. And a lot of people don't realize when you have one refinished, they do make the polyurethanes and stuff with UV inhibitors in it that'll help, prolong the finish on it.
Fantastic. A lot of good information. If you are out there thinking about redoing your bathroom, for sure, you want to definitely look into Thermal Resolutions. And your website is
thermalresolutions.org.
Okay, and good phone number is 713-377-1543 if consumers want to contact you and see about getting some replacement glass, because we all know glass breaks from time to time and you have to get that changed out. We'll be right back after this commercial break with more on Houston Real Estate Radio.